like to recognize some of the elected officials that we have here with the city today. We have City Commissioner Paul Lee, City Commissioner John Craig, City Commissioner Keith Siegel. We have our School Board District 3, Gayla White is here. Thank you for being here. And we have our City Manager Mike West. And Taylor Barbary eased in as well. Commissioner Barbary, thank you for being here. The words of journalist Ernie Powell. Darkness enveloped the whole American armada. Not a pinpoint of light showed from those hundreds of ships as they surged through the night toward their destiny, carrying across the ageless and indifferent sea tens of thousands of men fighting for, well, at least each other. Powell wrote these words in 1944 to describe the beginning of the Normandy invasion. For Americans, these words paint a picture of the fear and confusion surrounding soldiers on the eve of battle, because history tells us of the days and months following the invasion. Yet they also impart the sense of determination for those young men and what they must have felt. Through his words, Ernie Powell puts us in touch with our patriotism, our pride, and our understanding of who we are and how we came to be a nation. Even more, these words impel us to remember the cost of bringing America this far, and also force us to admit the price is not yet paid in full. This is what Memorial Day symbolizes, a time Americans take a clear look at both our past and our future. One day each year, when we acknowledge the debt we owe to those men and women who chose to live as warriors because they so cherished peace. Could anything be more contradictory than the lives of our soldiers? They love America, so they spend long years in foreign lands far from her shores. They revere freedom, so they sacrifice their own so that we may be free. They defend our right to live as individuals, yet they yield their individuality in that cause. And perhaps most ironic, they value life, and so bravely ready themselves to die in the service to our country. The founders of the United States understood that the military would be a rampart from which America would guard its freedom. George Washington once stated, "By keeping up in peace a well-regulated and disciplined militia, we shall take the fairest and best method to preserve for a long time to come the happiness, dignity, and independence of our country." The prophecy of those words has been fulfilled time and time again. The cost of that vision has been tremendous, for the periods of peace in our country has enjoyed are quite few. The longest time of complete tranquility for our armed forces was the 23 years between World War I and World War II. Since the Revolutionary War, more than 42 million men and women have served in America's military. More than 600,000 of those selfless warriors died in combat. But why are we so willing to fight, and if need be to die? The answer to that question is as simple and as complex as the soul of America itself. We fight because we believe. Not that war is good, but that sometimes it's necessary. Our soldiers fight and die not for the glory of war, but for the prize of freedom. And the heart of America is freedom, for ourselves and all nations willing to fight for it. Yes, the price is high, but freedom is a wealth that no debt can encumber. So we choose to remember the past because the payment for forgetfulness is dear. Sacrifice, service, duty, and many times injury and death paid by gallant and heroic men and women. We cannot, as a nation, forget such expensive lessons. But what of the soldiers whose blood has bought the liberty for our nation? They're all different, yet they share ideals that are much deeper than the uniform they wear. They are black, white, male, female, Hispanic, Indian, Asian, Muslim, and 100 other variations and combinations. What's more important, regardless of race, creed, or gender, is that they are Americans. These courageous men and women, each so different in heritage and background, continue to share the common bonds of the armed forces, duty and sacrifice. All of them reached a moment in their lives when race and religion made no difference. What remained was the essence of America, a fighting spirit of a proud, valorous people. They're soldiers who pay the price for freedom. As we remember these brave soldiers and their comrades in arms on this Memorial Day, we must look to the future. In today's world, freedom comes cloaked in uncertainty. America still relies on her sons and daughters to defend her liberty. The cost of independence remains high, but we are willing to pay for it. We do not pay gladly, but we pay it with a deep reverence and thanks to those who have sacrificed their lives for America. We know that today, tomorrow, and the years to come, more brave souls will sacrifice their lives for America. We include them in our thoughts and prayers today. Thank you, and may God bless America.
For giving me the opportunity to tell you what a true honor it is every year to stand before you and address you on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. On behalf of the 100,000 citizens of Houston County, we want to express our appreciation to the organizers and planners who do such a great job in allowing us to recognize our fallen heroes, true heroes, and to convey our gratitude to the family and friends of those who have given their all. We will always remember them, whether we knew them or not. We will always be proud of them, though we never met many of them. Thanks to those loved ones we honor and remember today, our great nation has been the standard bearer of freedom throughout the years. Though the weather may be threatening today, we are not threatened because of these men and women who are in our hearts and minds today. Those who gave their lives so that we could meet here without threat, without intimidation, or without fear of government interference. How many times have you seen heroes brought back to the U.S. soil after serving their country and giving their all in faraway lands, draped in this beautiful red, white, and blue flag? How many of you have personal experience or know others who've had the experience of watching the mighty U.S. flag being removed and meticulously folded to be presented to loved ones? It is a time that brings sorrow and mourning, but a time that our nation recognizes as part of a strong and lasting tradition. The folding of the flag 13 times is not happenstance, but a time-honored tradition that has meaning as it is completed, step by step. Each fold makes an important statement about the flag and this great nation we live in. For example, the third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world, those we honor today. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in time of peace as well as in time of war for His divine guidance. The seventh fold is a tribute, appropriately, to the armed services, for it is through the armed services that we protect our country and our flag against all enemies, whether they're found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, your loved ones, that we might see the light of day. After the 13th and final fold, when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God We Trust." Each fold carefully made, reverently observed, and presented as an eternal and final reminder of the valor and love of the one departed. It gives you, as family members, a tangible remembrance of those who have fallen. And when we gather at our grand Veterans Memorial downtown, or here at our historic VFW, we join you in that remembrance of valor and love, and honor and duty that brought us the freedom we enjoy here today and every day of our lives. We commend to you today that their service will not go unnoticed. Their service will not go unappreciated. And here in the Wiregrass, their service will never go unrecognized. We will always keep you prayerfully in our thoughts and ask you, as we do, to continue to bless the United States of America. God bless you all.